Okay, I want you to think about the money in your wallet or what you see in your bank app. You probably think it's real, right? Solid, valuable. But what if I told you that in a lot of ways, it's all just an illusion?
Yeah, you heard that right. The cash you're holding is basically just a piece of paper that's backed up by a government's promise. And let's be honest, that promise gets a little shaky with things like inflation. But now, there's this whole other world bubbling up, a digital one, a world with no banks, no governments, and yet, people are becoming millionaires, like overnight.
So what is the real story here? Are we watching some kind of digital magic unfold, or is this just the biggest scam in history? That is the huge question we are going to unpack today. We're going to pull back that curtain on cryptocurrency and figure out what is really going on.
Okay, so to really get this new digital money, we've actually got to go back and look at the old stuff first. And hey, stick with me, because by the end of this whole explainer, I'm going to reveal the one-word secret that explains why a single tweet from someone like Elon Musk can send the entire market into a total freefall.
You know, the way we've traded stuff has always been changing. We went from bartering, trading cats for horses, which you can imagine wasn't super efficient. Then we moved on to heavy gold coins, which were just a pain to carry around. So government stepped in to make it easier with paper money, basically saying, hey, trust us, use this instead. And that led right to digital banking, which is what most of us use now. But look at stage 5, cryptocurrency. Whoa, this isn't just another step. It's a massive leap that's trying to get rid of the paper, the gold, and even the government completely out of the picture.
So, if there's no government and no bank, who on earth keeps track of all the money? Well, the answer is this pretty revolutionary idea called decentralization, and it's all powered by a technology called the blockchain.
Okay, picture this. Imagine your whole town's money is tracked in one single book, and only one person holds it. If that person messes up, or worse, decides to run off with the money, the whole record is toast. Your money is gone. That's a centralized system. Now, what if every single person in town had an identical copy of that book? To cheat the system, a thief would have to find and change every single copy at the exact same time. It's practically impossible. And right there, that's the brilliant idea behind a decentralized network.
So that shared book, that's basically what the blockchain is. It's a digital record, but the absolute key here is that it's copied and spread out across thousands, sometimes millions of computers. And once all those computers agree that a transaction is legit, it gets locked into the chain. It can't be secretly changed or deleted. It's public, it's permanent, and that open, shared structure is what makes it so incredibly secure.
All right, so what does this actually look like when you send some crypto? Well, the second you hit send, that whole massive network of computers jumps into action to verify that you actually own it. Once they all give the thumbs up, that transaction becomes a brand new, permanent block in the digital chain. And here's the most important part. No single person, no company, no government can block it or reverse it. You're in control.
You can probably see where this is going. This technology is a direct shot at the way banking has worked for centuries. Let's just put them side by side so you can really see the difference.
You know the drill. You try to send money to another country and it can take days to get there, and the bank hits you with a pretty hefty fee for the trouble. With crypto, you can send that same amount and it'll get there in minutes for pennies. How? Because there's no middleman. There's no bank slowing things down and taking their cut. But hang on, if it's all so amazing, why are so many people losing their life savings?
And that, right there, brings us to the really scary part of this technology. For all its genius, the crypto market is famously and very dangerously unstable.
This quote just nails it. For a lot of people, this is the reality. See, because there's nothing physical backing it up. No gold bars in a vault, no government saying, we got you. Its value is based on something a lot less stable.
Its price is driven almost entirely by human emotion, by hype and by fear. I mean, look at this. One day a coin might be worth $40,000. A week later, it could get chopped in half. A good news story can make it skyrocket, while one negative tweet from some famous person can cause the whole market to crash.
And this whole hype train doesn't just make prices go wild, it has created some of the absolute weirdest and honestly most fascinating corners of the digital world, where normal logic just seems to get thrown right out the window.
I mean, we are in a world where people will spend millions of dollars for a digital receipt that says they own a JPEG of a cat. We've got cryptocurrencies like Dogecoin, which literally started as a joke, that now have a market value bigger than some major companies. What this tells us is that in this world, value isn't always tied to the tech. A lot of the time, it's just about hype, community, and yeah, internet memes.
All right, it is time to bring this all home. Remember that secret I mentioned way back at the beginning? The one that connects paper money, Bitcoin, and the crazy power of a single tweet? It's time to reveal it. We asked, how can one tweet from one guy completely shake global markets? The answer has nothing to do with fancy code or financial reports. It's about something way more fundamental, way more human. The secret is just one word: belief. The entire financial system, the old one and the new one, is built on this single, powerful, and surprisingly fragile thing, our collective belief.
Think about it. The dollar in your pocket has value only because we all agree it has value. We believe in the government's promise. Well, Bitcoin works the exact same way. It only has value because a global community believes in the code, in the network, and in its future. So when a guy like Elon Musk tweets, he's not changing the technology, he's changing our collective belief, and that sends prices swinging like crazy. It just goes to show you that all money is just a social agreement. But the belief in crypto, it's newer, it's way more volatile, which is why it can feel like you're riding a terrifying roller coaster.
So where does that leave us? Is crypto a scam, or is it the future? The truth is, it's this revolutionary technology that's wrapped up in a super speculative, belief-driven market. As you think about all this, maybe even think about dipping a toe in. Just remember these words from one of the smartest investors on the planet. The ultimate question isn't just whether you believe in the technology, it's whether you truly understand the game you're about to play.